Hi researchers! Welcome to this video on conducting research in English VO1A. I wanted to make a video for anyone who missed our library workshop this week. This week we were able to go to the library and work with one of our amazing librarians and start really practicing how to do research as a college student, how to use the library database and the library resources to help support you find sources and research for your research project. And so if you missed it, or if you didn't miss it and you want a little recap, I just wanted to make a video to show you some of the highlights of that. On our homepage for our module, I'm just going to go ahead and click on research so you can kind of check that out before we jump in here and start looking at the library specifically. And I want to remind you that we have an entire module here that was made by one of our librarians, Linda Kennedy. And that's what this module is. It's going over library research, and I had her make that for my classes, my VO1A classes during the pandemic, but it's an awesome module that has really all the nuts and bolts and really important information for doing research. But what I want to do with you guys is I want to go over the library and some of the features on the library homepage and the library website that are just going to save, your life when you're conducting research, whether it's for this class, for your research essay, or another class as you're doing research. And again, this is just going to be a little snapshot, just kind of scratching the surface. But on the homepage for VC, I just went to students and then I clicked on library. It brings me to the library website. These are our hours for the library. We have, if you're looking at this website from 8 in the morning until anytime between 8 in the morning and 8 at night, we have a librarian who is live for chatting, and that chat box will pop up and you can ask any of the librarians questions or get some help with your research. But I just want to show you a few things. Again, this is our homepage and it has lots of really cool features on it. Here's where you're going to search. It's one search if you're going to, as you start looking for books and journals and articles and all kinds of different sources for your paper. These are our hours. This is kind of like a link to all the really important stuff for the library, whether it is the databases or textbook lending library. On the bottom here, I just wanted to point out here is where if you missed the library workshop, I highly recommend that you schedule a research help appointment. And for those of you that were able to attend this week's library workshop, if you're wanting kind of a follow-up, more support as you're gathering resources, then you too can schedule a research appointment, a one-on-one with the librarian. It can be in person, it can be virtual, there's a lot of flexibility. Before I hop on there, I just want to show you there's frequently asked questions here. You can reserve a study space in the library. And so there's lots of good information on this homepage. When you click on schedule a research one-on-one, you can choose your librarians. Every single one of them are amazing. And then you can choose the date and time that you want to do your workshop. Again, you can Zoom or you can do face-to-face in the library. You can schedule it before our class meeting or after our class meeting because the library, again, is open from 8 in the morning till 8 at night, so you have time for that. But I just wanted to show you that because it's really important. If you missed the library workshop, one of the things we did was took a tour of the library, and that is included, some of that information, in our module on a canvas that I showed you earlier in this video. That'll kind of show you the ropes of the library. But if you're starting your search, you're going to start here. You can see there's some different things that pop up depending on your topic. Perhaps you're researching a topic like forgiveness. You would go ahead and click search. What's going to pop up is a comprehensive list of everything. That's why it says here everything. And so I've got 107,748 results, which is a lot. Part of your research journey is actually figuring out how to narrow down your topic. You should start with one topic and end with another topic. Not an entirely different topic per se, but your topic, it's natural for it to kind of evolve and shift and morph and change. That's what happens as a researcher when you're doing research. You get ideas, you go down rabbit holes, and then you end up somewhere, different than where you started. One thing that the librarians showed us that I think is great advice is really advancing your search by being more specific with your search term. So I just clicked on advanced search here, and then I'm going to be looking for forgiveness and maybe depression, just to kind of see what pops up. Again, narrowing down the search, and we'll see what happens. You know, depending on your search terms, you can make your search bigger or smaller. In this case, we went from 107,000 results to 13,000 results. So it dramatically decreased and really focused in on a smaller glimpse, a smaller view into this world of forgiveness. And so one thing that we talked about in the library tour that I think is important to remember is that, you know, you are learning as you go. You know, when you're researching, there's so much that you learn. Like, you learn different search terms, you learn different ideas, you learn different conversations that are happening, you learn about the different things that people are talking about. You learn where to search and where to search that's useful and where not to search. And so I just want to remind you that it's all about the journey, not just the destination. Yes, you are producing a researched essay, right? An essay that is integrated outside sources. But the reality is, along your journey, you are learning lots of skills, like how to be a researcher. And those skills are absolutely essential and an important part of your learning process. So don't stress if you don't feel like you're a super expert researcher just yet, because you have your college studies and the rest of your life to fine-tune your research skills. So one way that we narrow down our topic is we just skim through. I typically just will skim through titles of the articles. For example, this is a book. If you have everything checked on the top, then it will give you books, articles, all kinds of things, journals. And so you can tell what it is because it states pretty clearly on the website. So a psychology of peace. Now, I have never heard that. I find that absolutely fascinating. So I'm going to click on that. So again, this is how we narrow down our search. My search term was forgiveness and trauma, I believe. Or is it? Was that my search term? Let me go back and see. I believe that's what it was. Let's see if it pops up here. Oh, no, sorry. Forgiveness and depression. And so this is what's popping up. So as we're learning, as we're searching, I typically have my journal out and I'll scribble down terms and concepts and ideas that I hadn't heard of before or that I find interesting. I think that's a big part for me of gathering not only sources but ideas. So that way when I go to write my essay or I go to write my research, I have a whole bank of ideas to draw from. And then one thing I wanted to remind you of, as you're searching, it's very difficult to go back and find the sources that you were looking for during the search. So one key kind of hack or, pro tip is to collect the permalinks for your sources. So if I were to try and click on the URL on the top of my page, the one that's located up here, that wouldn't actually work later if I wanted to go back and find this source. But a permalink is a link that will work even later when I come back onto the database and I'm looking for this particular source. So what you can do, and what I often do, is I will open up a Word document while I'm working on gathering research, and in this Word document I will have the links to the permalinks. So I'm just typing it, my permalinks for my research on forgiveness and depression. That way I can actually kind of explore that. And that's just something that is an easy, quick way that I can go back later and have all the ideas. I might not have time to read this book right now, but I might say, you know what, this is a really interesting one and I want to check this out. And so for me, I've gotten two things from this that I think are interesting. I've gotten this concept of peace, right? Therapeutic psychology of peace. And then these connections to depression. There's a lot of references to both of my search terms, forgiveness and depression here. And so that might be something worth exploring later. You can print it. You can email it to yourself. If you really want full access to this, you have to be logged into the library database. You cannot access the full text in terms of like going back to check it out unless you're logged in. So hopefully that little tidbit helps. You can also limit your search by clicking on physical item, and that would mean I just want items that are located in the bookstore, excuse me, in the library, and that narrows mine down to 1, 2, 3, 4. We have four sources. So triumph of the heart, forgiveness in an unforgiving world. Maybe that's something I'm like, this is interesting. Let's see what this is about, right? And so you can get kind of a little summary-ish, like a description here, but also you can get the chapter titles. And maybe I don't want this entire book, but maybe I'm interested in this idea of forgiveness in intimate relationships, right? Or maybe I'm interested in the chapter on a touch of grace, forgiveness as a spiritual and secular practice. So again, I don't have to read all 262 pages of this book. Maybe I'm just going to use a chapter. And so this has to do with a veteran journalist and this concept of forgiveness, right? So again, I would take my permalink, I would copy it, and then I would put it on my work site, in my Word document. You can use a Google Doc or email yourself, open up an email for this. And I would just save it, and those would become my sources. So that's just a little quick and dirty for that. I just wanted to kind of show you one way of kind of going about it. And I'm just going to go back to the library. I want to show you one more thing before I end the video, and that's just checking out the databases themselves. If I go to the databases, I can see that there's 67 databases, and that's a lot. So I want to be efficient with my search, and the most common and popular ones, and the ones that I think are actually the best search engines, databases, especially when you're a newer researcher or you have like a wide range of topics, are going to be Academic Search Complete, Opposing Viewpoints in Context, and then ProQuest Research Library. So the librarians in our workshop, they went over Academic Search Premier probably, and may possibly ProQuest depending on which workshop you're at. So I want to show you Opposing Viewpoints because it's so what I like about this database is just it's easy to read. I like how it's sectioned off, and it's very different from the other databases. When I type in forgiveness here, like some of the databases, it'll give me some ideas. I'm already interested in forgiveness and depression, so that's what I'm going to type in, if I could spell it correctly, and then we'll see what pops up. So it'll break it apart for me. I see there's 4 academic journals, 1 viewpoint, 22 news articles, and 6 magazines. So I'm just going to scroll down so you can get a sense of what it looks like. And so there's How Can I Forgive, Yoga for Forgiveness. I'm just going to click on, one of the ones that I think is interesting. And so when I get to the article here, I can do a few things. I can grab that permalink that I mentioned earlier, and I can put it into my Word document. I can listen to the article. It will read it to me. A cool feature that I think is important with the database is I can cite it in MLA. I can choose MLA. I can copy and paste that into my Works Cited, which I think is an awesome feature. It takes away a lot of the stress of MLA citing. You just plug it in there and then you have it ready to go. You just have to, maybe fix it a little bit. But this, the database is awesome. This is like giving you maybe some information. Maybe I wasn't planning on taking my essay into the yoga realm, but somehow I ended up talking about forgiveness and yoga and depression, and that's what popped up. And that's the beautiful thing about doing research is you just follow your intuition, you trust your gut, and you just allow yourself to be free enough to just go wherever you're taken and then make meaning of where you end up. And you have all these different ideas, and then you can really have a conversation that's beautiful. So I know this is the fast and dirty, and I'll end by just saying I hope you have fun. I hope you can explore. I hope you can just play. Einstein said that research is play, and so keep that spirit in mind. Please reach out if you need help or you have any questions. Tutoring is also available. There's online tutoring, there's Zoom tutoring. You can submit your essay for feedback on NetTutor. All that is available through our Writing Center. So please use the resources that are out there. They're super awesome, and they're only going to help make you more confident in your writing ability. As a friendly reminder, back on our homepage here for Ventura College, you'll go to Students, and then you'll go to Tutoring, and that's where you're going to find the link to Zoom. That's where you're going to find the link to online tutoring to submit your essay if you want feedback that way. And then again, you can go old school, come onto campus and go to the Writing Center located in the beach where we have, or the computer lab where we have our classes. So Enjoy your research. I look forward to reading your ideas and giving you some feedback. Have a fun time.